Hi guys, it's Weta and I'm here with a last minute gift idea. It can be customized for pretty much women who like jewelry, girls who like jewelry, and it's simply stretch bracelets. I've made stretch bracelets for years. I give them in bulk gifts. That means I make a whole bunch of them and give to a lot of people. Some things that I have learned and over the years, I'm going to go over that. I will go over some construction tips and then also some design tips. First thing, design tips. If you're going to see the person before the holidays, sometimes it's really nice, and excuse the art room band-aid, this is what you do when you cut yourself, no band-aids and you don't want to bleed all over, but you have painter's tape handy. Okay, so these are very inexpensive acrylic beads. I got them at Fire Mountain Gems, and they made really nice holiday bracelets. I didn't use all three of them together, but I did use them in combinations, and they worked out really, really well. So if you see the person before the holidays and give them their gift and they're going to open it, it's really nice to give a holiday bracelet. It dresses up outfits so quickly and easily. Here's a combination that I made for myself. Inexpensive metallic beads from Walmart, bronze pearls from Walmart, and then filigree. No idea. Very inexpensive. Don't know where they came from. But I got a whole bunch of them, so they had to be rather cheap. Again, the pearls and some more gold filigree and some seed beads. This combination can be worn together, which makes an extra special gift, or each one can be worn separately. So if you want to make it a little extra special, then give two that work together. These work beautifully. I love them. I'm on the fence about this one. It can be worn, again, all three together or any combination, because I've repeated an element, which is filigree beads. Even though this filigree is not the same, it still blends very, very well. I just don't know about this one with these. This is acrylic and it has gold in it, and I'm just sort of on the fence about it. I don't know. So that's something that I made for myself for the holidays. This is another bracelet I made recently. I got in a stretch bracelet run for a while because I wanted just some quick bracelets to put on to dress up an outfit. And again, these are sort of textured pearls and gold moon dust, I think that's what they call them, beads. So they worked really well, and it's just a general all-purpose bracelet. Very nice. And I made these two. I will probably take apart. They're okay, but that's about it. They're okay. They're nothing fantastic. This one, every single time I wear it, I get tons of compliments on it. It's soft. These are very soft colored, but it's blue, blue, white, blue, blue, white. And then I put crystals in between, Swarovski, to give it a little bit of bling. And if I'm going to splurge on my stretchy bracelets, I'll have like one really nice type of bead that was fairly costly, and then everything else maybe not so much. Or I might use Swarovski for the little spacers, because those are less expensive and they can really perk up a bracelet. So it just makes the project a little bit nicer without, I guess, exponentially increasing the cost. Now, for my all-time favorite and most well-received bracelet, I did ice bracelets one year, and these went over extremely well. They incorporate just pretty much, you've probably got the beads that you need to do this. Some type of really clear acrylic bead. This tube bead is fine. This would be fine. I think I'm using these, and that's just a clear bead in an odd shape. Those are good. Here is a very inexpensive, cheap, sort of a weird bicone that would also be very good. So you need a clear bead of some description, or more than that, you know, more than one shape if you want. What you must have for this is a type of crackle bead. Let's see if I can get the... Okay, and I'm using this one because it's just a nice irregular crackle. I don't have it out. I can show you though. In the project that I'm going to show you how to do, there it is. Here is another little round crackle bead. And when you buy the crackle beads, you want to make sure that you buy good crackle beads, because I ordered some online, and if I could find my crackle beads, here they are. Excuse me for reaching around. I'm going to zoom back out for a minute. If I can find the zoom, wow. Okay, so here are my crackle beads. If you'll notice, this is white, this is very white, these are very white, but these are not, and neither are these, nor these, nor these, nor these, nor these so much. They're not bright white like these. So I've gotten to where I make sure that they come from the Czech Republic. These, I believe, came from India, and this, I think, came from China. So, I don't know. They look dirty to me. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with them. I hate to throw them away. They weren't expensive, but I don't want a dirty ice bracelet. So, and that's what I bought them for, so I'm not sure what I'll do with those. That's going to take some kind of, I'll have to design a project around them. So be real careful when you order your crackle beads that you get nice, clear crackle beads. Same thing with the clear beads that you want to use. It can be acrylic, it can be glass, it doesn't matter. You just want it clear, not dirty looking. I'm going to zoom in. Okay. So these were the cheapy acrylic. So you've got clear and you've got crackle. Then you'd like to have one other or two other types of accent beads. It can be something like this moonstone. Focus. Focus. Okay, there we go. Something like that moonstone bead. Or it can be a pearl, the white pearl. Again, make sure that it's nice and white. This is a really inexpensive acrylic faceted bead that is sort of in between the crackle and in between the clear. That works really well. These silver filigree beads are not expensive, and they work really well as well. So some other type of, any combination of these, really any combination. And you'll need probably a little spacer bead. It can be these little silver round beads, or I'm using the little Swarovski. So here's what I came up with design-wise. And it's basically crackle, spacer, filigree, spacer. I call this an ice cube bead. It looks like an ice cube. Spacer, round crackle, spacer, repeat. So when I'm making the bracelets, if at all possible, I would greatly prefer to be able to put 2 strands of elastic through. Now, for elastic, I'm not brand loyal, except for the fact that I do make sure I get a brand instead of some generic no-name elastic. I have 1 millimeter, 0.7 millimeter, and 5 millimeter. If at all possible, I will use the smallest that I can if I can go through the beads twice, and I will do 2 separate strands, completely separate, and knotted in different points. That's a bit of a pain. I'm not doing that today because I am using 0.7 millimeter because there's no way through this tiny little Swarovski I can get 2 strands. So I'm using the biggest size that I can use to get through my beads. So if I can't go through twice, I just use the biggest size possible. And I've already started stringing. I lay them out on a design tray. You don't have to, you can use a piece of felt. That works just fine. So I've got it laid out and I'm stringing the beads on. I would not use a needle. I'm using a needle right now. I would not use a needle except these filigree beads are a super duper pain to feed through if you do not have a needle. So I've got a needle and this is why I like laying them out. I won't get it messed up. I won't say that. I'm less likely to get it messed up if I do it this way. And the nice thing about these ice bracelets is they have a cool winter feel. They look good with any holiday styles, just about any holiday style that you want. You can dress it up, you can dress it down, and because it is so freaking neutral, it will pretty much go with anything. And again, the holiday designed bracelets go over super, super well if you see the people before the holidays. And if not, then I do try to give them something that's fairly generic and classic, like the ice. Another one is just like that parent did for me, would be using, she used the black, gold, and silver, and they were inexpensive acrylic beads, but because the color choices were so classic, they really had a very elegant look about them. Okay, now for the, there we go. It's so much easier with a needle. I am using a collapsible eye needle. So it's basically just a piece of wire, very fine wire that's twisted. If you don't have the needle, then you certainly could make one out of a very fine wire, be just as good. Or you could go through and just fiddle with the elastic and getting it through. It's just those filigree beads are a bit of a problem. Now for size, 7 inches is about the norm. If someone's really small, then they have small wrists. And I'm going to count here. I'm not going to rely on me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right at 7. So, and I know that's good for me. Do I want to add? I think I will add just one more bead. I'll make it this ice cube. And does that break the pattern up? Yeah, it does. It's okay. I want one more because I want it a little bit loose. Okay. And there I have it. So this is what it will look like. Whoops. And that is just a really pretty, elegant bracelet. So, construction. Now I'm only doing one strand. Okay. If I were doing 2 strands, at this point I would come through and string another through. I would tie one and then take the other one through and then maybe tie it here, so they're not tied at the same point. Now once I've got my bracelet, I gently stretch the elastic so it's sort of pre-stretched, and then I will tie 3 knots. 1, and I'm stretching the elastic as I go. 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to rely on that to hold. What I do now is I get out my hypo cement, okay, and it has, pull the needle, pull the cap off very carefully if you can get it off, and see it has a needle. Focus, focus. There we go. It has that needle goes into the tube. Oh, and you can see it leaked out. That may happen. Okay, that's not a problem. You can just twist that extra glue off and discover that you have now removed that. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do some work on it, but at this point I can still work. I am going to apply the hypo cement to the knot. Okay, and now I'm going to put this back together. That's a shame. It's still workable the way it is. And feed this back through. Maybe it's not workable the way it is. I'll fiddle with this off camera. I've never had that happen with my hypo cement before. Okay, now that it is glued, the knot is glued, I let it dry. Then I will trim it very close to the knot. Focus. It's not going to. Anyway, I'll trim it very close to the knot. If I can, I'll try to work the knot into the middle of a bead. Okay, if it won't, that's fine. Okay, I used clear elastic, I've knotted it 3 times, and I've glued it, so trying to fit it into one of the beads is just an added security. But there you have it. That is one of the most popular designs that I have made over the years, the ice bracelets. Thank you for being with me. If this was helpful, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments, suggestions, or ideas, just let me know in the comments below. Have fun, and I'll see you later. Bye!